Hello, welcome. It's just a continuation of speaking about what we do with tarot, how we manifest things, and how, if we think about it logically, that once we've had a tarot reading, we are in a better place to realise what can be altered by manifestation. Our sincerity is so important because this isn't about greed. Although the universe is totally able to give everybody on this planet in abundance and more than they could ever want, most of the people on this planet are struggling. And the reason they're struggling is because there are forces at work that are trying to disrupt the vibrations around them, the noise. Now, if you're interested in spirituality, you'll come across a vibration. Sorry, I'm being flippant. This is one of the reasons why when you think of the Buddhist monk sitting down going, he's creating inside himself the vibration, the inner vibration. And vibrations are very powerful tools in manifestation too. So, our first connection is the prompt. We realise something is telling us something is wrong, or that there's something we can do or something we need to do. And then once we start to look around, what is it? I'll give you an instance. I did a reading for somebody who wasn't with me in my private time after. And you can see that this person, actually, the word is justice. Yeah. And this person, was asking, I was tempted to say, I'm going to ask that my deity, I'm connected to, not my deity, but the deity I work with, Lilith, will intervene. And last night I was doing a session for intervention, and from a deck I'd never used before, I shuffled it, split it, and this was the deck, this was the card that came out. And so I then went online and I looked and I found this. So I boarded that and it turned up, and I'm going to give that person that they will have something. That to me is the prompt. Can you see where I'm coming from? Look at the card. Also, we have the book. Now, for justice to come out, I tell you now, I'm working spiritually for this person to bring them about justice, and the justice they deserve, not the nice stuff that you get where you let them say they're sorry and polite and then go away and laugh at you behind your back. Real justice. By following the prompts, I've been led onto this mission, and I tell you now, I do look a bit old, I do look a bit dothery. I do go around the bush when I'm speaking, quite a lot. Maybe too much. But I do know what I'm talking about. I have been there. I'm 71 years old. And 71 years of struggle, strife, and having horrible things done to me. And one of the most horrible things is not a lie, is when others believe that lie. Because what you realise is that they only believe it because it suits them to believe it. That when somebody is telling you about something, right, especially in a relationship where one partner says, I love you, they're trying to project that love into you, and it's never going to happen. And they can't see it because they have that emotion for the other person. They can't realise that other person has not got anything inside them for them. And this is the biggest problem we have. And even now, as I get to that important thing, notice the disturbance I talk about. Let's me get all the way to the point, and at that very moment, you get the ding-dong alerts. I'm going to have to work out somehow how to stop that. Or maybe leave it, because maybe that's the prompt. And the prompt is that what I'm saying, somebody somewhere will be starting to say, yes, I get it. Yeah, I never thought of it like that. Speaking to people is important. But following the prompt from the card to the tool they'll get, and also maybe, you see, so we can attract. The world has changed. A lot of people today have got no idea what it is to have German bombers coming over trying to kill you. The Ukrainians do. But the world's never ever going to get rid of that sort of, every few years, some dictator somewhere who wants to pop at us. And so we understand that, we see it, but we ignore it. Ukraine is ignored a lot by people because it's not on the doorstep. The Ukrainians can't afford to ignore it. And it's the same thing with your spiritual life. You can't ignore it. It's not something that somebody else does on your behalf. It's not something that others are going to keep doing for you. You're either in or you're not. You're either being prompted to get involved, prompted not to get involved. Prompted when you see something and think, oh my God, I know exactly what it means the moment you see it. Then you have to purchase it, and then you've got to give it to that person. That's how it works. You follow the prompt, then you let it alone. The magic of manifestation starts with a desire. Now for some of us, that desire, the true practitioners, that will be the prompt. For others learning, that will be the confusion do I or don't I? It's learning to say, hang on, this is not going away. Internally, it's not going away. And the prompt, when followed, always brings a blessing. And if the least blessing is that the prompt no longer is bothering you, that's a big blessing as well, because it frees you up for other things. So the tarot reading is important because certain cards come out. Spirit will speak to people in a language that they know they understand best. Some, strangely enough, it's music. A single lyric doesn't leave the head. And the other thing that we must learn is that we must learn how to respect the people around us. Because Spirit works in us and through us, but also it will chastise us. We might think we've got away with everything, but Spirit will not let that happen unless you're following the path. And instead of something bad coming from what we've done, something very beautiful will be a blessing from that. We can have a friend who that friendship will last maybe the rest of our lives. That's what we're manifesting. Right? This is the basics of manifestation. It's how we deal with other people. What we really believe in when we follow the prompts. It's happening all the time. Now, I know that not everybody will get the same interpretation as me when they do a tarot reading, because Spirit isn't speaking about me to them, it's speaking to me personally. That's what it does. So manifesting is going on all the time. But also there is the other side of the coin, is that once we know what we should be helping to manifest, we can put more energy into that situation for other people as well as ourselves. Because when it comes to relationships, there is always a two-way street. Otherwise, it wouldn't be a relationship, it would just be a very selfish person forcing other people to do their will. And this is happening a lot in the generations that are coming now. They don't have the understanding. They actually believe, and people still do believe, that they can make somebody love them by showing them kindness, helping them financially, and that by being in their face 24/7, and that they'll persuade that person to love them because they just have this desire for that person and it's not reciprocated. But that blindness in themselves is a problem. And I've had it in the past. That's how I know. And then I had to realise what was happening. Indoctrination is a big thing that we as pagans, spiritualists face. because we don't tend to have a written doctrine. And a written doctrine doesn't mean it's right. Because it's old or ancient doesn't mean it's right. And so they become blind. It's already written, and it's so easy to put on the sat-nav on the car, and at the next junction, turn left. Go 200 yards down the road to the traffic lights, turn right. And although that is helpful, right, we could see that actually duplicitous in both cases. One, it is really helpful, that's what we need to do. And on the other way, it means that you're no longer in control. You're not planning, you're following the prompt. Turn right to the next traffic lights. Very helpful. We need internally to hear that voice. And we also need to know spiritually when to put the brakes on. Because it'll never tell you, there is a pensioner now just stepped off the curb, put your brakes on before you turn right at the next traffic lights. Right? See, we need that intuition with it. Right, you with me? And this is the beautiful thing about having a brain, being involved with spirit. We learn through the prompts. And when we follow the prompts and they come through, that's when the magic is so lost in the doing, in the prompting, in the manifesting, in the cards. They're all connected. They're all in tune, and spirit is working through those. Called discernment. Now I am at this moment hoping to be able to ask spirit and work with spirit, work with Lilith on somebody else's behalf. I won't praise for it. I'm working with Lilith and I find it difficult because I have to remind myself that there are limits to what I would call interference and limits to what you called help. Because if you help somebody to the point they don't have to do anything, not doing anything means they don't learn anything, and not learning anything could mean that they don't experience the doing. It all sounds very deep, but it's not. It's basics. Nobody talks about it. I want to talk about the Kabbalion. They want to talk about the meaning of this card and that card. Fair enough. When I first started, I found them very interesting. But when I started practicing, I found I was coming across blockages. And I started to realise that I was that blockage to myself. What we manifest. My favourite saying at the moment is abracadabra. As I speak, I manifest. Have you ever seen two drunks having a verbal fight? And the things that they're going to do to each other, yeah, they're almost laughable. And you can see the hatred you can almost think, my God, I want to get away from this as quick as possible. And that's probably the best thing, leave them to it. And then you can see somebody who's humbled themselves to do something nice and walk away. It's not about right or wrong, nice or bad. It's about learning that what we say, the words that we speak, need a sincerity. They need a firmness of trust, a connection to spirit, in a willingness and a firmness of a trust. See, if you're going to try and manifest something by your own action, right, then it's not spiritual, it's you. And it can be very helpful, but it's not spirit prompting. It's not going to have a longer or the real connection or the real empowering that we're looking to bring into our magic. It's nice, it's good, it makes us feel better, but that's all it's done. It's about feelings. And magic isn't just about feelings, it's about seeing a need. It's about allowing and working with spirit. And manifestation happens all the time. As I speak, I manifest. Well, those two drunks were manifesting as they spoke. And it was pretty easy to see the hatred and the bravado and the stupidity that they'd manifested between them as they spoke those words. They manifested the hatred. Sometimes they'll even manifest a fist fight. But I'll be honest with you, I've watched two drunks fight and it's never a Muhammad Ali, it's in a Joe Frazier fight scenario. It's almost laughable. That's what they manifested. So, that's okay, but Dave, I want money. I want some money. I need money. I need a new place. Put it out there, and it will stay there now. Before I know it, it will turn up and it'll be a shock. Even though I've asked for it, it will seem like a shock. Manifestation. I've had demons manifest in front of me. Truly. And I've watched, in fact, watching a horror film is more scary than the real thing. What was he talking about? When you're there, and when something is manifesting itself towards you, you get an empowerment from within, like an anger. No, you're not. And you're not standing for it. And all of a sudden, you've got your muscles giving you the old, even at 71, you're going for it. It does not scare you. You are in charge on this planet. You are the flesh and blood that the universe decided was going to be you. You've got the backing of the universe. You're on a planet that the universe put you on. So it put you there to be Lord and Master, to be the I am. These things are interfering. And if you scream and run away, it's because you don't understand. Honestly, the power that we have is wasted on so many people because they won't take up that power. They want to follow some path that doesn't exist. This, as you're watching, is my right hand. Well, but to me, it will be my left. And my right hand, as you're looking, left and right. Yeah, my right hand, that's my left. Now, understanding your right hand and your left hand are connected to the same body. So if you're taking the left hand path, you're actually either going to go around in a circle anti-clockwise, or you're just going to keep moving to the left because you've got one direction. That's what the left hand path actually means in spiritual life. It doesn't mean the Kabbalion, the Torah. It doesn't mean the tree of life. If you take one path and you follow it, it's like saying, bless them in Iceland. They actually have long periods of night. They have months of darkness, then months of light. That's just the way the planet works. Most of us have day and night. They seem to have months of one or the other. Same planet. Same confusion. We're so used to, in non-Icelandic and northern cultures, that not happening. We think of the four seasons. Some people don't have that four seasons. It's same spiritually. You have to realise that you're working with yourself. Right? What is day and what is night is in yourself. But here is the thing. There's a thing called Newton's cradle. Look it up. And you will see it on, I actually had one, believe it or not, so as I could get it out and everybody, oh yeah, I know this one. So where those little silver balls bounce up and down, you pull two this way, boom, and two the other side come out. Yeah. And I don't have it anymore because I dropped it, all the wires got tangled in. I think I swore that, But that's the principle, and that's the same principle within us. Yeah. If we just take one ball and drop it, only one ball's going to come out the other side, and it's going to come back, and that's going till all the momentum, all the energy is spent. Whether we get a little or a lot, it will only come out to the amount that we put in. Spirituality is no different. You will only manifest or two. Yeah, you're only going to manifest this energy by the amount of I suppose it's energy that you're putting back into it. You're you're putting 2 balls of energy as opposed to 1. And then the other side is copying it. I'm not very good at science. But the idea, the principle is the same. We can learn the prompts, and by practicing magic in our daily events of our lives, not just at an altar, right? Now, this is one. Oh, this is a good idea. This is one of my altar pieces I made. I put this together, and somebody sent me a little gift, so it's on, it's made of clay and other bits of stuff put together. Now, in a way you could say I manifested it in so much as I put the effort in to make it. But the real beauty why I was making this is just made out of clay, all the face. Then I painted the clay and the eyes, and then I bought some horns and things to put on, but the painting and the clay and the sculpting is all mine. And that's the point. In a way it was manifested, something I enjoy doing, but the way that all those things came together individually that went to make the whole, I didn't have that idea in my head and a drawing A to Z. They came together as I saw them come together. All my maths do. All my heart does. And I even make for people sigils. This is for somebody I've just made and not seen it yet. Or I will make, I'll make my own card. Yeah. It's about being involved, but following the prompts. What's so unique about a lot of my artwork is I've got no idea what it's going to look like when I've finished it. But I've learned to trust that as it builds up, I can see where it's going. You see the difference? Some people, they have to spend hours and map it all out, then they'll craft it. Fair play to them. In fact, I think that is a fantastic skill to have. But as I start to create things, they come together. And so, this is a similar type one that I've made. Again, similar in some of the things are similar. As you can see, this one is my Lilith bit and the Termit. But what I thought was so beautiful was I love those eyes. Those eyes really do give me Mr. Spooky on that mask. And I enjoy doing it. But you see, I could not sit down and work that out. It happens as I'm creating it. But it only happens because I'm creating it. As I speak, I manifest. And it's learning to follow the prompts, to just try something. And many times, I didn't intend to go in that direction. But I seem to feel a prompt. Manifestation prompts are all intertwined, but they also require the effort and the skill in that case. But I wouldn't have the skill if it hadn't been given to me, and then I could teach myself, because I didn't have many people wanting to show me. In fact, nobody wants to show me anything. And yet when I do something, everybody wants to know how I do it. We all know that situation. So, following prompts to manifestation, and to understand that the magic is in there. You can light a million candles, and if you light a million candles, you'll probably have a warm room. But when that candle's go out, back to whatever temperature it is normally. We can read till the cows come home. I would imagine that the popes and some of the bishops are the most well-read scholars in the world. It doesn't make Christianity any more right or wrong. Living the dream. Right? Like those balls, sometimes it swings to a nightmare, and it swings back to ecstasy. It moves. But as it moves, in some cases, it's that gradual that we become immune emotionally to the fact that it will swing. It's the energy. How many balls we pick, how much energy we put into those balls will denote how long that interaction goes on till it stills. It's all a part of manifestation. It's all a part of learning your skill, putting the herbs together, right? Knowing what time the moon is going to be where it is, so that you can put things out on the shelf and let it get the moon energy. I must be honest with you, it's never been my thing, but I admire those who understand it. But I don't admire those that don't do it. But no, because I found that my relation with Spirit is either a peace or a presence. And when that peace and presence goes and things start to get rocky, they haven't abandoned me. It's like when you have your kids and you have the hands and then they get them wobbling, and then eventually you let go and it's 2 steps and fall. Our life, our work with Spirit, our life is based around a fact. This is magic manifesting itself in reality. It's real. And I know now that I've taken this case on for somebody. And I don't want to be the abuser. Right? I wouldn't like to be in their shoes. And it's surprising, that when I've dealt with this in the past, even the courts and the police, they're not interested in anything but the paperwork being right or what they think at the time. Our country is in a mess. we don't have to be in a mess. We've got to learn to stick together and fight. Use the skills that we have. And we also have to do in a sense of teach those skills to others. This isn't evangelism where you go out and say, "Are you born again, brother?" Yeah, or knocking on the door and say, "Do you know the Book of Mormon? Or Jehovah's Witness? Or because the Quran say?" Always, that's what they want to do. As long as they don't bring it to my door, I don't mind. I don't go knocking on doors saying, "Hello, would you like a tarot reading?" But when I speak to people, I will actually offer them tarot reading. And today, the lady who cut my hair, I was speaking to her, and I know it looks a mess, but 70 odd years old, trying to grow your hair, it's not an easy task. It's not difficult. It does it itself. But the point is that it needs shape and it needs all those things to affect it. And I've actually found somebody who's very good at making it look right. So that to me is a blessing. That person's ability and what they charge I can afford, to me that's a blessing. Somebody can do something that I can't do for myself and do it better than most other individuals can. And I'm not being ignorant because I live in Bolton, so there's only, if you live in some other country or you live in Bolton and you've probably got a good business going, I'm not decrying you. What I'm saying is, for me personally, that person is the blessing. And I don't need 10 different blessings because I've only got one head. See where I'm coming from? See, we've got to put some proper logic into what magic is happening and what these prompts are that led me to this person. Yeah. That person was out there giving the card to the hairdressing business. I pulled my cap off. It went bing. Yeah. And it's funny, right? Because my hair went ping. And she said, "Oh, don't worry, come out, sort it out." And she did, right? The other thing is, I do a lot of photography. Do you know why I'm missing some teeth? You probably noticed then, missing the teeth. It's because I fell last winter taking a picture of somebody's house. Unfortunately, the light, I've just disturbed the light. I do apologise. So I'll finish off now. It's gone on too long anyway. They were on a cobbled drive that was very steep and it was frosty, and I wanted to take a picture of the side of the house, and as I walked onto the sloping cobbles with the ice, I might as well have been on a ski slope because I went straight down, and unfortunately I had the camera which I was holding up not to get damaged, but when I finished I ended up getting nutted by the tripod and I lost a few teeth. Well, that's the story of life. Anyway, I'm going to finish on that. Please excuse the darkness at the end. Catch you later. But remember, take that blessing with you.